Thanks for tuning in to this special edition of Just an Opinion. Once again joining me is Flobo, who hasn't left my apartment since we filmed the Clerks animated series special.
That was like 20 minutes ago.
It was?
Yeah, we just took a bathroom break and, we're here. That same day.
But we switched to whiskey.
That we did.
Well, alright then. This time we're going to do something completely different, and we're going to review a video game soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack for the video game Sonic R has its own cult following because either you love it or you hate it, but we love it! Sonic R was a game that was on the Sega Saturn, and it was amazing from my humble opinion, and the soundtrack was awesome as well.
Well, I'm glad you can provide that context, because I've never played the game. I kind of just found the soundtrack by accident on YouTube, but I will say that once I found it, I fell in love. It's extremely uplifting, it's cheerful, but it's a little cheesy.
Cheesy? You think it's cheesy? Mm-hmm. You're literally wearing a Golden Girls t-shirt!
Shady Pines, Flobo! We want to give a special shout out to composer Richard Jacques and singer TJ Davis. Each song has a beat that works for the game, but the added lyrics really tell a story. Whether it fits or not, I can't say.
What makes this soundtrack stand on its own is that you don't really have to play the game to get it. Every song has a little bit of a story, and if you take a step back, the songs together kind of give you this feeling of optimism and sacrifice and struggle, but all for the greater good.
Well, Flobo is going to comment on the gameplay context for this, but for me, I can really only speak about the music.
And that's just an opinion.
Ready, set, go!
So each song represents a different level, and we start things off with probably the most recognizable song from the soundtrack, Can You Feel the Sunshine? It kicks everything off with an amazingly uplifting beat.
The first level of the game, we start everything up, and it really sets the tone for what to expect with Sonic R.
The bad times pass me by, 'cause today it's gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten our day? Don't you feel that sometimes we just need to run away?
This was my introduction to this amazing soundtrack. The more I listen, the more I embrace its message. The sunshine representing a positive outlook on life. You can literally feel it brighten up your day. And bad times, or rain rather, they're inevitable in life, but the sunshine will come back and your day will get better.
This is like the perfect marriage of song and level design. Resort Island has palm trees and clear blue waters, and even though we have days where it could be raining in our lives, we are looking forward to when sunshine can come back again, which is pretty awesome.
So track 2 is Living in the City, a fun little cheery song.
And this song goes with the level Radical City. And when you're playing the game for the first time, the level is so much larger than Resort Island. You're like, oh my gosh, the space, the expanse, the looking forward to good things happening in your life. And this song pairs with it perfectly.
So many different things to see. There's no time. So many different things to do, but there's no time. So many people all around. So many feelings to be found. Living in a city where no one lets you down.
I'll admit, it took a while for this song to grow on me, but it's great. It could be taken literally as far as living in the city, but I take it more as a metaphor for taking on any sort of new challenge. You have to be careful with what you're willing to risk, but you also have to hold on to that dream.
It's true. This song and the first song really speaks to people that say, hey, look, life's so hard. I really can't go forward. It tells you, hey, look, good times are coming, and 2, you have to do what you can to survive. So those 2 songs, those levels back to back meant really a lot to me when I was younger.
You know you have to survive. You've got to keep the dream alive. Where everything is green, can't you see?
Track 3 is Back in Time, perhaps the most emotional song on the soundtrack.
Yeah, Regal Room is one of those levels that really transported you to a whole different place. You see, it goes from being a game that transcends into being present while you're watching Sonic or Tails or whoever you picked run across these rows, these old temple rooms with the song playing in the background. It makes you think about your ancestors, you're longing for another place and time, and actually it's one of my favorites when it's all said and done.
So take me back in time to another world, then you can be mine. We don't have to worry when you're by my side. There's nothing I don't know, there's nothing to decide.
The song is deeply nostalgic for an earlier time that just seemed to make more sense than now. It's questionable if the song is more about missing someone from their past or the past itself. But I think we can all relate. Time has a way of polishing our memories and perhaps making them seem better than they were. And sometimes we just long to repeat that experience again. Track 4 is Work It Out. Now, this soundtrack, many of the songs, they have a visceral connection. This song somewhat removes the emotion from everything, but it helps balance out the soundtrack a bit as it is a bit more to the point. And sometimes, I mean, in life, we just have to move forward and forget about the emotion and just work it out.
Yeah, you know, I never thought of it that way, but the song kind of goes with Reactive Factory, which is one of the most straight-to-the-point levels in the game. After seeing the lush visuals of the previous levels, the size of the maps, what we got here was a very tricky map that has an ode to Dr. Robotnik's. You already feel like you're in enemy territory, and it kind of goes with the idea of being in an unsure part in your life. So I guess the song kind of matches, but for that reason, growing up, it was actually my least favorite track of the whole album.
Yeah.
Work it out, think about it. Work it out, talk about it. Work it out, make it happen. Let's work it out, we've got to make it real.
I think we're in agreement that this song doesn't quite have the kick that others do, but it really does fit on the soundtrack as the lyrics take a more narrative approach.
We all know that life gets harder. It's getting harder day by day. But we can show that we are trying. We're making sure that everyone can say.
Track 5 is Diamond in the Sky, and actually it's both of our favorite songs. And it's just the paragon of feel-good music. And it really elevates just how talented TJ Davis is with her vocals.
Where do all the rainbows
What are you doing?
go?
What are you doing?
You didn't hear that?
You're what? So for a bit of context here, Radiant Emerald is like the Rainbow Road of Sonic R. You had to unlock it. It was a big deal. And when the race starts, there's a bit of a 10-second bridge before you get to the first, You're feeling everything. Now, for someone like me, who spent many, many hours playing Sonic R, where I didn't want to deal with being bullied as a kid, it was me and my Sega Saturn, because I was the only kid in the neighborhood who bought one. That felt like it was a perfect level, the perfect game, the perfect moment, playing as Sonic or Tails or Knuckles or Amy, who had a car for some reason. It was a perfect mix of everything. And I love it so much, I even play the song in my workout mix because it makes me feel so happy.
Me too.
You're the one that makes me feel so high. Just like the diamonds in the sky. I never want to hear you say goodbye. You're the diamond in the sky.
The term diamond in the sky is used frequently, referring to something as unalloyed and beautiful. This song uses the term regarding someone who brightens your life in an unexplainable way. Sometimes you have that special someone in your life, or even just a friend that you just don't really know how you would deal without them in your life.
It has this bittersweet vibe, like telling an old friend you'll see them again down the road, but ultimately it's beautiful.
Another road that we must travel.
6 is Supersonic Racing. Now this is probably the most authentically video game sounding song. It's very fast paced, and from what I see, it matches the gameplay very accordingly.
True, it's the title track. You boot up the CD, it gets you in the mood and groove to race as your favorite Sega character. Now for me, I spent way too much time listening to this one while manipulating the giant R with my Sega Saturn controller, but it got me in the mood and groove, so I appreciate it.
Everybody's supersonic racing. Try to keep your feet right on the ground. When you're supersonic racing, there's no time to look around. We're just supersonic racing, running to the point of no return.
According to Sega Saturn magazine, before the release of the game, Richard Jacques had written the music and lyrics only for this song, but it was so well received, he was requested to add lyrics to all the songs.
Richard Jacques is one of the unsung heroes of that time period. Having so much of his songs appear in so many different games and franchises, being able to sit back and write the lyrics for these songs gave it a bit of color that we all needed and respected.
The song is more catchy than you think. I actually find myself singing Everybody Supersonic Racing more times than I care to admit.
Because there's no time to look around.
Don't you know we really have to go to a place where you can feel my heart just race.
And for the finale, we get number 1. Whereas Back in Time looks to the past, this song looks more optimistically towards the future. It is earnestly positive and uplifting, and just such a great way to end the soundtrack.
It's kind of an epilogue. Number 1 plays over the end credits, and the first little trickle of the song that plays makes you feel like, okay, yeah, we're kind of done racing for the day. Turn off the console, but before you do, check out the good vibes.
When the day is done, when the race is won, my life has only just begun. When you're next to me, so much more I can see. There's nowhere that I'd rather be.
By this point, you kind of realize that many of the lyrics of these tunes are very much love songs. And you know what? I think that back in high school, if I would have included some of these songs on the mixtapes that I made for the girls I like,
No.
You never let me have any fun. Anyhow, the soundtrack and the game really end on a sweet note with this track.
All I need is you, for always and forever. All you need is me, remember when I said, all we need is love, for us to be together. 'Cause you're my number one.
So that about wraps it up for this edition of Just an Opinion. I really love discovering things that have like a cult-like following, because it kind of feels like more special, like it belongs to you and you can appreciate something that others, they don't see. I mean, this soundtrack really has that cult following. You can see it on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TJ Davis even performs some of these songs like at video game conventions. It's pretty cool.
I never want to hear you say goodbye, 'cause you're my love in the sky. Oh.
You're absolutely right, Ralph. And if you have an emotional connection to a project, no matter how cult it is, you will sing it from the rooftops how much you love something. And the fact that TJ Davis is a part of that, I follow on Twitter. I know you do.
Yeah, I do. I want to once again give a huge shout out to Richard Jacques and TJ Davis for their amazing collaboration. Jacques himself worked on other Sonic influenced games. Davis worked with Jacques again on the Metropolis Street Racer video game soundtrack and has her own solo works as well. She's very versatile, able to lend her vocals to such genres as pop, country, dance, you name it. TJ Davis, Richard Jacques, we love you. So, hopefully we'll be back for another show. I hope there's not another outbreak, but Flobo and I are huge pro wrestling fans, and we're going to do a video on that beloved industry.
That's right. So if you have an idea for a wrestling movie you want us to cover, let us know in the comments below. And me and my man Ralph You dangerously are going to review it on Just an Opinion. What are you doing? All the gimmicks. But that's a cool way of saying it, though. Like, I never thought about the person.
Are you on camera, or are you talking to me?
Oh, I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay.
I just said I wasn't going to do it for camera.
I appreciate it.
What the? Stutter! Welcome back to Just an Opinion. What are we doing ourselves? Oh, I'm starting?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you were going to lead into it like you always do, but fine, I'll do it myself.
Lyrics are the most appropriate for the game, with the mention of the title character, and of course... hate where I live!
Guy walks by. Sorry.